Jeff Pro from Two Hacks Garage. Well, we're back up at Kyle's Hack Shack. I just got done working on my dragster. It's a super hot day out, and we're going to be working on Kyle's big green machine, the 1968 Pontiac GTO. It's got a Holley EFI sniper setup on it. It's got Kaufman heads. It's got a whole bunch of work done to it. It's pretty badass, guys. But he's always looking at ways to improve this thing, and Kyle's going to explain what he got, but what I'm going to have Kyle do real quick with this intro, because it's been a while, I'm going to have him tell you what all's been done to this car.
Yeah, so where do you want to start? You want to start with what's been done to the car? We want to start with what we're doing today?
Let's just tell the audience what's under this awesome hood.
Oh, gosh. Well, this is going to challenge my memory, so you'll have to help me out along the way if I forget something, because you know, it's been a lot. It's been building over the years. So,
and we're getting old.
And we're getting old. Memory's getting bad. So, yeah, it's a Pontiac 455 that's been bored 40 over. So that takes it to roughly 464. In 68, a 455 would not have come in this. That didn't come until, you know, a couple years later. But anyways, this is a 71 original block in, you know, still the Pontiac. But it still has the original crankshaft, the original nodular iron crankshaft. And then the other internals are, you know, forged, you know, pistons and rods. We have a hydraulic roller in it. It's a Comp Cam's hydraulic roller. It's got some Kaufman high port heads, Headman headers. As you mentioned, the Sniper EFI. Actually, it's an entire Sniper ignition system, right? So we got the fuel for it. We got the Hyperspark, the coil, all Holley. Trying to remember what else we've maybe done to it.
Well, it has a 12 bolt because this thing makes a whole lot of power and torque. And Kyle kind of smoked the 10 bolt with that limited slip in it. So he's got a really nice 12 bolt setup out back. I think it's 355 gears.
It is 355 gears. Yeah, that 10 bolt was also a 355, and it was starting to make some noises towards the end. There's a lot of variations of 10 bolts. The one that was on this one happened to be the really weak one that you can't build it up if you want to.
Yeah.
And if you do, you're just wasting your money. It's probably only good for 400 horse. I know there's some good 10 bolts out there that can be built up, and they're out there on the track, you know, withstanding behind vehicles that have 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
This one wasn't one of those.
Yeah, this one wasn't. He's got Willwood disc brakes on this. It's been converted in the rear disc brakes. It's got, you know, the tubular adjustable suspension, all that. It's pretty badass. I think Viking coilovers.
Yeah, the Viking coilovers. Yep. Correct.
If you're noticing a trend, I break stuff, he breaks stuff. But, you know, that's where we always find our weak points. And Kyle's looking at doing some more improvements over time. Tonight, we're going to introduce you to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the camera over here and have Kyle explain to you what we got going on. And maybe we'll get a peek under the hood. Mind you guys, this is a Pontiac engine, and it revs out really good. 6,000 RPMs, no problem. And it makes north of 600 horsepower. So with that, guys, let me show you what we got going on here. All right, Kyle, explain what we got going on here.
All right, so I think it was a couple years ago we we replaced the old V pulleys on it, and this has CFV. It's an 8-rib system, serpentine pulley system on it. Just switching from the V pulleys to the CFVs, I want to say we reduced 10 to 12 pounds, maybe it was a little more than that, off, you know, rotating mass off of the engine. So just switching those pulleys, and of course they look nice and you know, kind of helps with that belt slippage issues that I was having. But what we have today is, and actually so I've been talking to a gentleman, Mark Luhn at Luhn Performance. If you're a Pontiac guy and you haven't reached out to Luhn, you haven't checked out his website, I encourage you to do so. Check out his website. He has created some really amazing things in Pontiacs, and is one of the most knowledgeable person on Pontiacs, bar none. And one of the things that I like that Mark had developed is a pulley system. I think he had developed this originally for the March pulleys. So, but what we're going to add to this is an automatic tensioner to my system. So no more guesswork on how tight that pulley should be. Currently, you'll see when we go under the hood, I have to kind of push up on the alternator to get it to the right tension. We're going to eliminate all that, and you know, to my knowledge, this is the first time this tensioner system has been put on a CFV system. So there might be some things that we have to figure out there. That's to be seen. We'll definitely let you know, though.
Let's see what we got in the box. What's in the box?
What's
Kyle?
in the
What's
box?
in the box?
Well, I'll tell you. So I've had a lot of conversation with Mark, and I opened this box, and after I opened it, I was very impressed, not only with his very detailed instructions. You could tell Mark is an engineer. He's a person who has really thought well about things. His instructions, his packaging, right? Each piece is labeled. You could tell, right? Manufactured and put together right here in the good old US of A. And only after you have bought stuff that is not like this can you really, truly appreciate good instructions that you can read and understand. And I think, you know, following these instructions as well as put together as this is, I have high hopes and a good feeling that this will go well.
So yeah, let's go get a peek under the hood real quick. Be right back. So this is underneath the hood of Kyle's big bag green machine. It's pretty nice. And actually we did make our own Ram Air 2 style setup with that, but that's not what we're going to talk about. I'm just rambling. Kyle's going to kind of explain to you what this actually does and, well, where it's going.
All right, so let me jump in here. This is one of those things that had I known this from the get-go that I was going to go this route, right? I could have saved a little money on that block-off plate down there where the old manual fuel pump used to be, right? So right now it's just got a block-off plate with the Pontiac symbol, kind of nice touch. You can't really see it all that well. But that the tensioner is going to have a mounting system down there that it will be hanging from. And yeah, so to get started here, this is my current tensioner right here. It's just this, I loosen these two nuts and I either take it down or bring it up, and it's going to push the alternator up or down. I will tell you one current limitation with what I have today is because of my Kaufman heads and my bigger valve covers. I don't know if you can see it back. Actually, you can. If you look real closely, you can see the back of my alternator actually touches the back of that valve cover right there. So with any luck, we'll be able to actually lower this all the way down and leave it down. And that will actually, I think of it as another performance improvement. I don't like the idea of, A, the alternator pushing against that valve cover, but B, it's also getting heated up, you know, by the two touching together. I'm sure that's introducing extra heat to my alternator, which probably means it won't last as long as it's currently configured. So that will be a potential upgrade right there. And as I mentioned, we'll be taking the guesswork out of how tight should this be. So stay tuned.
The neat part is, like Kyle showed you in these boxes, he's got it packaged really nice. And I'm just going to show you real quick. He's doing some disassembly work. He's going by the instructions. So as you unpackage stuff, it actually tells you which steps they are and all that, which is nice. And you got your hardware bag, which will tell you in the instructions what you need and all that fun jazz. So he unbagged step one, which is this plate here. And that's what we're going to do next. So yeah. It is literally step by step labeled. Very good. And the instructions are clear and concise. I'm digging it. Time to get back to work. As I just said, a couple days later. One thing we did not take into account was the size of the belt. We were about a ½ inch too short, so Kyle did his homework, found the right belt, and got that ordered up and got it installed. So yeah, you know what? This was actually a very easy to do job. As you saw, we did it on lift. You know what? You don't have to do that. We just happen to have one, which makes the job a whole lot easier. Just a couple bolts, a little bit of sealant, read the instructions, which are very awesome. Get it all put together. So you see now, down in there, it's got the automatic tensioner. You know what, guys? Very clean install, very awesome job. Very happy. But you know what? I want to get Kyle's take on this. See you in a second.
All right, Kyle from Two Hacks Garage, and just wanted to give you guys a bit of an overview on the automatic belt tensioner that we've installed with the CVF pulleys that I have here. And so overall, I'm thrilled with the upgrade that we've made to this. I will share that this is something, although we did it, again, this is something, hey, we've got a lift, we're going to use it. But utilizing the lift was really more of just having better angles with the camera to be able to see what we were doing versus my big backside blocking the entire view. So it was a lot better view from the bottom. You can certainly install this from the top and probably start to finish take about 20 minutes. Now what will take a little bit more time, if your system is like mine, you'll probably end up needing a different belt size. And so even though I've got this adjustment arm here on the alternator, and we did back that most of the way down. It looks like we have it about a ½ inch up. And there's a reason for that. So this is something to watch for when you do adjust this down. When you do bring it down, you want to be careful, because if you bring it all the way down, your cooling system right here that's built into your alternator, it will hit on this bracket right here, which would be a catastrophe if you just lowered that all the way down, put your new belt on, and you started the car. This thing would destroy itself. So luckily, while the belt was off, Jeff or Eddie or Kenny, I don't remember who it was that discovered it, but someone went to move the alternator a little bit, and you know, it was tinging on this little cooler fan, you know, that the alternator has back and forth against the bracket. So we knew to bring that up just high enough to where that alternator wasn't hitting. And yeah, so that was another reason that we had to find just the right belt size, and we couldn't utilize that same one. One of the perks of going to the tensioner system, so with the belt that I had before, to get it adjusted right, my adjustment was here. Of course, the next size belt down was too small, so I pretty much was stuck with the belt that I had, and that meant I had to raise it up probably a little bit higher than what it was. And there's a little pop out on the back of my alternator. You won't be able to see it on the camera there. But as we raised it up, it was actually touching the valve cover, kind of pushing into into that valve cover, which I don't like that for various reasons. One just being the transfer of heat from the valve cover into the back of the alternator, and you know, would surely take a toll on one of the two over time. So certainly an upgrade. I like the idea of, hey, now we put that belt on, set it and forget it. When we want to take the belt off, it's as easy as grabbing a socket and a ratchet, and you know, relieving some tension on that tensioner, and boom, take your belt off. So no more guesswork on how tight a belt should be. That's all set, and this was a really straightforward, easy install. Mark is a great guy to work with, and I am really impressed with the detail in his instructions and his kit altogether. All of the bags were labeled step by step. They matched the instructions. The instructions were color printed, very easy to read and follow along. Really made this install very simple and straightforward. So overall, I give this whole thing a big thumbs up. I would definitely do it again, and I would recommend it for others that either have the CVF pulleys or the March pulleys, and add that automatic tensioner to your Pontiac. I think you'll be pleased too. Till next time, see ya.